towards the MDGs. We therefore need a collective strategy in partnership to overcome these challenges.
The top government officials said the need for global partnership for development is even more crucial now when the timeline for the attainment of the Millennium Development Goals is just 5 years away. Constant dialogue and consultations are considered very important in the complex field of international relations. As Dr. Mamadou Tangara told the meeting that no country can achieve meaningful socio-economic development in isolation, and that no development can also take place in the absence of peace and stability.
The Gambia's foreign policy under Vision 2020 seeks to adopt a more proactive stance with the aim of mobilizing greater international support for the country's development in the context of a stronger and more effective national, regional, and international partnerships for development. In this respect, as a strategic institution of the government, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, International Cooperation, and Gambians Abroad has the overall mandate to implement the foreign policy objectives with the ultimate aim of promoting, safeguarding, and achieving the country's national socio-economic interests.
The Gambia's chief diplomat acknowledged that his ministry has a critical role in the implementation of the country's foremost development blueprints, Vision 2020, and the Program for Accelerated Growth and Employment, PAGE, by virtue of its position as the primary point of contact for development partners, with other sectoral heads in attendance to make presentations on their major undertakings. The country's foreign affairs officials maintain that the ministry will continue to engage its partners in meaningful bilateral discussions for a mutually beneficial relationship. Famara Fofana, GRTS.
You can also follow these stories and other GRTS programs live on our website at www.grts.gm. There you can also monitor GRTS Radio Live. Idris Masad, prosecution's sixth witness in the 51-count trial against the former IGP and Sabaji and 2 others, has asserted that Silaba Samate was using the names and presence of personalities like the accused persons to swindle his customers. Ibrahim Ajata was listening and he now reports.
Under cross-examination by the defense lawyer for the third accused person, LK Mbuj, sixth prosecution witness Idris Masade told the High Court that Silaba Samate, who testified as the first witness in the case, used names and personalities like the accused persons to confirm his story that he was selling drugs for the president. Masade, who asserted that Silaba is a swindler who succeeded in deceiving a lot of people, verified his testimony about the number of drug customers who gave money to the first witness of prosecution and never received any delivery. Silaba has never told me what he was up to, Masade revealed, adding that he had, however, suspected that the man was a cheat and liar because when Mohammed Sise had given him 1,700 euros for drugs in his presence and nothing was delivered to him. Idris Masade revealed that he also gave 8,150 euros to the first prosecution witness in order to ascertain the involvement of the military officers. Masade accused that he had informed Pambai, a security officer who testified in the case, about the fact that Silaba was taking money from people for drugs he never delivers. This is why Mbai simply wrote in his statement that the first prosecution witness is a fraudster, Masade disclosed. I have never seen Silaba selling drugs, but he was claiming to have been trading drugs and used the accused to confirm the story to his customers, particularly when they come to him adorning their official uniforms. Lawyer Lamin Boch subsequently put it to the witness that all the allegations he made about the third accused person, Kulute Mane, is pure concussion, but Masade disclosed that he is under oath and would not lie to the court. Cross-examination will continue on July the 25th, 2011. Ibrahim Ajata, GRTS.
Usually quiet GRTS home farm turned into a hive of activity on Tuesday morning when staff of the institution descended on the field to sow crops. Fatih Jassi saw the broadcasters and support staff in action, and she reports GRTS are expecting a bumper harvest.
Planting exercises, the staff of GRTS, aided by the natives of Som, cultivated their farm in the Combo East village. A development that drew inspiration from the high premium attached to the food self-sufficiency drive championed by President Jammeh. The Gambia Radio and Television Services is not left behind in this crucial national endeavor.
We are not only sure of food self-sufficiency, but also we are sure of what we eat, the quality of food that we eat, and I think that is very important and is very encouraging. So I think this will convince people when we talk that we are not only broadcasters talking on the screen and on radio, but we are people who are also doing the practical bit of the talking, and I think that's also very important.
Serin Fai continued that farming is not new to this institution, saying that since the inception of the institution some decades earlier, the national broadcasting giant have been engaged in some form of farming. Despite the institution's long-standing ties with agriculture, nothing will equal to the current plans by the institution to heavily involve in the anti-hunger campaign. For the Director of Finance, a lot depends on the work done on the farms. However, CISA is convinced with the 4 large farms at the institution's disposal, the team is expecting a bumper harvest.
For us, what we are trying to do now is, maybe after here we will not continue this interview. We will be behind cameras until the harvesting time. Action speaks louder than voice. We are doing it by action. At the end of the year, I'm convinced if everything goes as planned, by the grace of the Almighty Allah, Grts will have a bumper harvest.
For Baye Sanyang, cultivating such a vast area of land is enough a testimony that this year's harvest will be incomparable to those of the previous years.
As usual, you know Grts, we are never behind when it comes to farming. As the DG said, we are competing, and this year we're really competing. We have, I think this is our 3rd farm, apart from Bonto and others. So we're expecting a bumper harvest this year.
For the Chief of SOM, Basiru Jaju, farming is part of their livelihood and so must it be for all Gambians. He further went on to say, depending on imported foods, that we have little or no knowledge on how they are prepared, cultivated, is too risky to the health. He assured the Grts officials of their all-time support whilst reassuring them of an even bigger harvest. For Grts News, I am Fatou Jassi.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Mumbai.
If life is unsecured, death is untimely, and disasters are beyond control, IGI Gamstar Insurance Company comes as a savior. At IGI Gamstar Insurance Company, we insure against accidents like vehicles, aviation, marine, fire outbreaks, and medical, property loss and damage. At IGI Gamstar, we give priority to settlement of genuine claims. For further information, visit Gamstar Insurance Company House at 79 Daniel Goddard Street or call +220 422 6021 or 422 5257. IGI Gamstar Insurance Company, the nation's insurer of choice.
Welcome back. Many high-ranking army officers in Guinea-Conakry have been arrested following an attack on the residence of the President Alpha Condé. The shootout took place early Tuesday morning between unidentified soldiers and presidential guards. The army has meanwhile declared its loyalty to the president in a broadcast on state television. We have more in this report.
Further arrests have been made in Guinea following the attack on the home of President Alpha Condé early Tuesday morning. 37 officers have been arrested in connection with the attack, most of them linked to General Sekouba Konaté, the former president of the interim government. Among those arrested were an influential colonel known famously as de Gaulle and Commander Alfred Omar Diallo, a supporter of ousted President Lansana Conté. Also arrested was General Nohum Thiam, the army chief of staff in the interim government. On Guinean television, the army declared its loyalty to President Condé.
The Guinean army, true to its vocation to defend the values of the Republic, reaffirms its commitment to peace and democracy. It declares its firm intention to fight all attempts to destabilize our country.
President Condé was not harmed in the attack. He has been moved to an undisclosed location. In a televised address, he called for calm and vigilance. President Condé, Guinea's first democratically elected president, assumed office only 7 months ago. The reason behind the attempted assassination may have to do with a reshuffle of the country's military hierarchy. There is also strong criticism from the opposition, which accuses the government of dragging its feet in